The course Connecting Networks begins with Chapter 1, Hierarchical Network Design. In this chapter, once we're completed with it, you should be able to describe the structured engineering principles of network design, describe the three layers of a hierarchical network and how they are used in network design, describe the various modules in network design, describe the Cisco Enterprise Architecture Model, describe the need for business network architectures that are designed to address emerging trends in IT, because as we know, IT is constantly changing. Describe the three business network architectures. We have the borderless network architecture, collaboration network architecture, and the data center virtualization network architecture. When discussing network design, it's useful to categorize the networks based on the number of devices serviced. And keep in mind that your devices are not just your laptop or your PC. It's going to be any device that requires an IP address that you currently have or that you foresee that you're going to have in the future. So a small network provides services up to 200 devices. The medium-sized network is going to go from 200 to 1,000 devices. And then your large network will be anything that has 1,000 plus devices on it. And then your designs vary depending on the size and the requirements of the organization. As you'll notice in the diagram on the right, this shows you a large enterprise network design. You have your main site, and then you have three other sites or remote sites. You have a large site, which means that that site has at least 1,000 plus devices. Then you have a remote medium site. That's going to have anywhere from 200 to 1,000 devices. And then you also have a remote small site, and that one has less than 200 devices on it. So the network design is an expanding area of business. That's something you might want to get into. And the Cisco Certified Design Associate is an industry recognized certification for network design engineers, technicians, support engineers who demonstrate the skills that are required to design a basic campus, a data center, security voice, and wireless networking. We probably won't get into all that in depth in this course, but we will hit on a lot of this so that you can see if this is a direction you might want to go. One of the things that you need to look at is the design itself and some structured engineering principles. You have hierarchy. Here's an example of how you might look at that. And a hierarchical network model is useful for high-level tool for designing a reliable network infrastructure, and it breaks the complex problem of the network design into smaller, more manageable components. You have modularity here. Everything's in a module. Everything's separated into what it does. Let's say that separating the various functions that exist on a network into modules makes it easier to design. Cisco has identified several modules, including the Enterprise Campus, Services Block, Data Center, and the Internet Edge. You have resiliency, and that's the network must remain available for users under both normal and abnormal conditions. Normal conditions are the normal traffic flow you expect. Abnormal is if a spike that might occur, or a hardware or a software failure that you're not expecting. Maybe you're under a denial of service attack. That would be abnormal. One of the things with mission critical is the resiliency factor of your networks. That can be thought of and can help you also if you're out there looking for jobs. You can look for jobs in mission critical if you understand the resiliency of your network. You also have flexibility, and that's the ability to modify portions of the network. You can add new services, you can increase capacity without going through a major forklift upgrade or major replacing of major hardware. Maybe you're needing to add a component and things are going to function well, and you're not going to see a hiccup in your services this way. For your network, fundamentally, you're going to look at hierarchical design, and it needs to be flexible, and it needs to allow for growth. So those are important components when you are designing your networks, that you need to look at the flexibility and growth, because as we know, things are constantly changing in this field.